Do you feel stuck in life and you're finding it really hard to go forward? Well, great news. Hi, my name is Lauren Royale. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can take your life back. All right, so I think a lot of us are feeling lost and are stuck in our situations, especially since the pandemic happened. I think everybody has kind of been like pushed back a great point for whatever reason ever since the pandemic happened. And it's about 3 years later, going on four, it's about to be 2024, and we're still struggling to get it together, right? So I've been learning a lot lately. And before I give you these really good 3 tips, first we're going to talk a little bit about what my story is, and then we're going to give you 3 tips that I believe will work for you, and then a bonus tip, okay? So enjoy. Okay, so to start the video off, I'm somebody that felt very stuck in life as well in my like preteen years, and then going forward up into my early to mid 20s, basically. And I was depressed for many years, right? And I felt hopeless. Now, a lot of this I learned was being very, how do we say, half glass empty, basically. Everything was negative. I, always assumed the worst and I would get the worst. I just hated life. And I always would ask one common question: why? Why me? Why now? Why this? Right? And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. But I'm here to tell you that instead of always asking why, there's something better. Okay, so thank God, um, I was able to overcome a lot of that depression and be able to go forward with my life. But it wasn't easy. Okay, and I'm not saying it's easy, um, but I'm talking to the people today who want to come out of this, and I'm sure we all want to come out of being stuck. You can't work. Something bad happened. You can't seem to make money. You don't feel like you have any friends. You made a mistake, and now you feel like you're wearing that mistake. Well, you don't have to wear that mistake anymore. Okay, so you made a mistake, but you're not a mistake. The first thing that I had to learn when I would face problems, okay, is acceptance. I had to accept the situation that I was in. And when we accept the what we're going through, this does not mean, oh yay, I just lost my job. That's okay. This is what we do. No. Okay. Of course you don't want to accept it in that way. That's ridiculous. But when I say acceptance, is accepting the situation for what it is. Stop fighting so hard and just make peace with it. So something you can say is, okay, that happened. I'm upset. Whenever you acknowledge how you feel, don't run over it. I'm upset, but now I have to move on because life is not going to wait for me. Okay? The old you, the old me would say, why would I lose this job? I was the best person. It was my dream job. I worked there for years. Why would they lay me off? They need me, right? That's like the old me, right? So that should be the old you. I want you to get rid of that today. So that goes with step number 1. Accept where you're at and stop taking everything that happens to you in life so personally. Okay? Everyone is going through something negative. It does not mean you're a bad person, life sucks, and that you should just give up and die, basically, okay? The second one I got from a TED Talk, it was really good, and I'm going to link it. I do not remember her last name, but Miss Tasha, she talked about how to basically bring back your self-esteem, and she talked about why instead of what, okay? And I didn't realize until I watched that video that I used that, and it helped me come out of depression. So it's self-awareness, basically, right? So instead of saying, why did this stuff happen to me? And just sitting in it and wallowing it and trying to like figure out why. It's okay. What can I do now? Going back to the job situation. They laid me off and a bunch of other people. Okay. Not why. Do not sit there for days asking why. What can I do as an actionable plan to, fix the situation? Okay. So whatever that will look like for you, whether, that's looking for a new job or asking, maybe you can ask your boss for a recommendation to another job, like a recommendation letter. Oh no, it's a reference, yeah. Or you can, do some type of networking, or you can be like, you know what, I'm gonna make my own business. Whatever it is, try to take action before inaction, right? So I know that we can't always just jump up and like get a new job. You should take time to acknowledge your feelings because they're real. But I don't want you to sit there in the negative because it's so easy. It's so easy to stay negative and not want to move on from that. And that's why we have people out of work for years and they're depressed and now they're doing all sorts of things that are damaging them. And if they only knew, if I change the way I think, I can change my situation. Okay, so I want you to figure out, how can you change your thoughts on this situation and see what you can do better? And that goes right into my third step. Take action, right? In the different forms that could come in, okay? So sometimes it can mean learning a new skill. Going back to school, of course, that's not for everybody. You could just get a certificate if you want to. A lot of them are free. Getting a part-time job. Maybe you can't do a full-time job right now. Just get a part-time one. Like I said, asking for references. And not everything is about work, I know that, but I'm particularly using a work example. You can, apply it to your own situations, but we're trying to go into something main right now. A lot of people are struggling with work, okay? Or you can use what you know and start your own thing. Like, okay, I'm a great artist. I'm gonna try to draw up those sketches that I put away for a while, and maybe I can go on Fiverr, right, or Upwork, and try to do projects for people and charge them for my services, right? Something like that. Or maybe you prefer graphic design. Maybe you prefer making music, whatever it is. See how what you can bring to the table unique way, and maybe you can make a business off of that, right? Side hustle, okay? And this is the bonus tip, okay? Because there's sometimes we can't move forward like right then and there, right? Sometimes we literally are stuck. So what happens when you can't move forward? This is the waiting period, the waiting room. We've heard a lot of different terms, but this is when you can't move forward. I want you to reflect, and don't leave it like more than like 2 days of reflecting. Think about what happened, what you did, and then what you can learn from that, right? And a lot of the times bad things may happen and it's not our fault. And you're a good person, you've done all the great things. Just letting you know, and this is something I had to learn, just because you're a good person, you've done great things, you work really hard, you've been working, I worked up for 20 years for this, or I was her best friend, how could she? Or I never did them any wrong, how could they do this to me? This is life. And we have to learn to accept that bad things happen, even to good people, okay? But that doesn't mean to stop being good and now do something bad. No. I want you to reflect on what happened and begin to make future plans. Can't really do anything right now because I'm kind of stuck, but what can I do? So say, for example, you got injured on the job. Okay, God forbid, right? You got injured. Now you can't work anymore. What can you do though? Maybe do some research, right? Oh, I can get workers' compensation, or I can get unemployment assistance, or disability, or I can now start working from home because I can't really, like, say you can't really walk and get around, but maybe I can, sit in my chair and do a job from home. Or once again, you can do your own business. So we have to see that life is full of possibilities and find ways to make life work for us by working with it, right? So a lot of my problem was taking life very personally, and every time something happened, I said it's my fault. I'm a bad person. I can't stand myself. People can't stand me. Why am I here? I don't want to, it's a waste of time, brain energy, and you're not gonna want to go on. This is what you could start thinking instead. I can't believe this happened. I feel terrible. What can I do to make myself a better right now? I don't have to jump online and on Indeed and look for a job yet. Or maybe that just means making myself something like a nice, comforting cup of tea, right? And then when I'm sitting down, make my cup of tea, I can sit down and do some reflective journaling, or pray, or let's see, write down what my next moves could be. But I don't want us to stay stuck in the why, in the bad, because you're gonna see a lot of videos on YouTube. For example, how to adult, um, how to get a job, or how to ace your classes, stuff like that, right? But if you don't change your mindset, you're not going to be able to keep up with all those tips you just found. You have to learn to build yourself up from within. So how do I make myself better inside so that I stop and start, stop and start, stop and start? And I've been through that as well, so you're not the only one. But now how do I learn to form good habits and stick to them, and, stop saying everything is against me. That's how I was. And as long as you're going to think like that, you're going to be miserable. And we don't want you miserable, okay? You got to work with life. And, you can say life is a game. Yeah, it's unpredictable. And you got to be willing to get up, get past what happened, and rework it, okay? I want you to be able to move forward, okay? So, to review, acceptance, stop asking why, start asking what, and then take action. What can you do right now, even if you have to wait? What can you do in the wait until you can move forward? So I want to thank you for listening, and this is the first video of my channel. So if you can leave a comment as to what you plan on doing to take action in your situations, that would be great. Thank you for listening, and please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video. And just remember, it's time to take your life back, and it's very much possible. Bye.